All right, Monday night, we are headed to Arrowhead for the Kansas City Chiefs, who we think might still be good. We're not really sure. They are 10-point favorites right now against the New York Giants. The total is at 52. This is a tough one for me, Raheem. What do you make of this line?
This is a really, really, really tough one because obviously we know the Kansas City Chiefs, they're the worst defense in the league. Dead last in EPA per play, dead last in success rate. But for me, I tend to like spots like this. I think it says a lot that this team lost by 24 points last week and they're still laying 10 and a half points. So if I had to bet something, I'm inclined to lay the 10 and a half points or the 10 points with the Kansas City Chiefs, just because we all know this team's not going to score 3 points this week. The Giants are really in a tough position. So I'd be looking that way. But I think this is a pass for me. I'm not willing to lay 10 and a half points, 10 points with the Kansas City Chiefs, even if they have Patrick Mahomes. So I'm sitting this one out.
Yeah, I know that you're not a big trends guy. There are a lot of trends that are telling us to be very careful with the Chiefs here. So the Chiefs are 2-5 against the spread this season. They're currently on a 7-game home losing streak against the spread. They're failing to cover by 9.6 points during that stretch. They're also on a 3-game losing streak against the spread as a double-digit favorite. The last win as a double-digit favorite or the last win and cover as a home team, both of those exactly 1 year ago today, November 1st, 2020, against the Jets, who were awful and trying to lose games. So the Chiefs just aren't winning in these spots, or they're winning but not covering. Patrick Mahomes, when he's a touchdown or more than a touchdown favorite, only 7-12-1 against the spread. That's not working well. We know the Daniel Jones thing, 11-5 against the spread on the road. So there are a lot of trends there. I know you're not really a trends guy. Do any of those trends make you nervous at all?
They kind of do. But I mean, I have a trend of my own. Like when you look at teams that lose by 24 or more points, they're 305, 265, and 13. That's around 53.5%, which gives you about a 1% edge. So I do think there's some value in actually backing these teams that lose by 24 or more points. Now, when you have an offense as prolific as Kansas City, they're going to be tough to stop, and you're not going to hold this team to 3 points. So you're asking yourself, is Daniel Jones and this Giants team going to be able to keep up? And I'm not sure that's the case.
Yeah, I had a similar trend to one that you said. So something I found, teams that lose by 17 or more, so that's the Chiefs, that was last week, against teams that win by 17 or more, which is the Giants. That's not the way we thought this trend would go on this game. The Giants are coming off the big win against the Panthers, not really meaningful. Chiefs had the big loss. So in that spot, the teams that lost big are 97, 60, and 4 against the spread. So that's a 62% cover rate. And when that team that lost is at home, it goes up to 64% with 25% ROI. So it's hard because if you look at like the last month, I think we're giving the Chiefs offense too much credit. They're only 13th in EPA per play over the last 4 games. They're 17th in passing EPA. Patrick Mahomes on EPA and CPOE, good quarterback measurement. He's only 16th. So the offense is measuring out as average, but it's the Giants. This is a pretty good get right spot. Like I would feel very dumb to talk myself into the Giants based on all these trends. And suddenly it's 21-0, like 10 minutes into the game. Tyreek Hill has 2 long scores. And we're like, oh, right. The Chiefs still have Tyreek and Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes. So that's my instinct is similar to yours. I don't love this game. I don't want to play it much. If I had to take a side, I like the Chiefs better. A week ago when we did the hot read, I wanted to take the Chiefs. The line was under 14 and I thought it would get over 14, but then I got thrown off by that ugly Chiefs loss last week. So I wonder now, are we overrating the Chiefs and the line is too high, or did that weird set of results last week actually bias the field goal of value? Now we're down to like 10 points here when I thought it might be 14 or higher. I think I'm willing to give the Chiefs another chance. It's a home game. It's Monday night. It's Pat Mahomes. It's against the Giants. All the trends and everything, that's nice. But it feels like it's just trying to outthink myself to pick against the Chiefs here. So if I had to pick the side, I'm going to play the Chiefs. My question for you is this. So they're 10 and a half right now. Are you going to tease the Chiefs here? Would you like them on a teaser, or do they worry you that they might lose?
I wouldn't tease the Chiefs just because you're teasing from 10 and a half down to 3.5 or 3. So you still have to win by like when I'm doing a teaser, I want a team to be able to have to win by less than a field goal. So if they can win by a field goal, they're good. Or I want a team that's going to be catching the key number of 7. So this doesn't fit that threshold for me. And I just wouldn't be looking because it's not a leg that I think is going to hit more than 72.3% of the time, which is what you need to break even on these teachers. So that's something I would personally leave alone.
Okay, and what about as far as longer shots go? So the Giants, I'm seeing plus 365 on the money line at BetMGM. So in my head, I think that's about 23% chance. Do we think there's any chance the Giants get the win here on the road? Is there a quarter of a chance, 25% that they get there?
I'm going to say no. And one of the reasons why is that I think a lot of the Chiefs' issues on offense has been their turnovers. They turn the ball over on 24.2% of their drives, which is the most in the NFL. And when you look at their games against the Titans, I don't think they even punted in that game. It like they literally got to the green zone or they had a turnover or it's just to me, I don't see the Giants being able to force enough turnovers to be able to win this game. And then obviously you have a Giants offense, which hasn't been great. They're 24th yards per drive. And I honestly, I just don't see it. So for me, I think I got to be looking Chiefs or pass here. I think this is just the spot. This is their season right here. Like the Chiefs aren't, this is not a Chiefs team that's allowed to coast at this point. They're playing for the playoff lives. They're 3-4 on the year. They lose this game. Obviously, it's a non-conference game, but if they lose this game, they're in a big trouble. And obviously, they don't have the easiest schedule because they have the Packers next week, and then they have a division game against the Raiders, and they have the Cowboys after that. So this is a must-win game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I will say this though, as much as we are very down on the Chiefs right now, and they deserve it. We should be a little down on them compared to what we thought coming into the year. This was a pretty good Sunday for the Chiefs. You know, the Chargers got the loss, the Titans almost lost, the Bengals got the loss. That AFC, everyone is very congested. And as bad as this season has gone for the Chiefs, you beat the Giants, which you better beat the Giants, but you're back to 4-4. You're right in the mix. It's not going to be easy. The defense is getting a little better, I think. I don't think that they're the worst defense in the league now. For the season, they are. Last few weeks, they're more like pretty bad, but not historically awful. That's a big step forward. And we know that if you're as good as Mahomes and the Chiefs can be on offense with a pretty bad defense, that's okay. We just can't be historically awful, and we can't turn it over in the red zone like twice every game. So there is a chance here that this could be kind of a turning point. The Chiefs get a nice, easy win here, get things going again. A lot of results went their way this weekend. This could be a spot to buy low on futures if you believe in them. I'm not recommending it because I don't believe in like the Super Bowl future, but the division maybe looks winnable. You know, there is a path here for the Chiefs to get back in, even as rough as things have gone, just by how things went in the AFC today. What do you think about that angle?
I agree with you. I can definitely see that, especially obviously the Chargers lost. I'm still not that high on the Raiders, so I do think there's a path in there. And then obviously they still have some division games left, so I'm not even willing to count them out of the division yet. So I agree with you in that aspect.